Live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. Now, I'm going to be discussing you today is now a couple of things. I'm going to be discussing you about Herrera now for Manchester United. A player who I've not really talked about is now reported in the current press that Barcelona may be prepared to make a move for Herrera in January, because we know that Ander Herrera's been on Barcelona's agenda, like Philippe Coutinho's been on, the agenda. You know, apparently now they're in the race with Arsenal for Andrea Silva. Apparently they've got their interest in Virgil van Dijk. So Barcelona have got quite a few types. Iniesta's obviously signed a lifetime contract extension with Barcelona as well, but they're still looking to get quite a few key types. But now apparently Manchester United are on the verge of signing Ander Herrera a 1 year extension on his current contract. Due to that, we have the option of signing a 1 year on his a 1 year extension on his current contract if he currently fails to sign a new deal with Manchester United. He has confirmed Man United have been in discussions with his representatives, I think about since November, but I think the contract talks have currently stalled at this moment in time. But if we do fail to secure Ander Herrera a new deal, his current deal ends. His current deal is coming to an end now, nearly. It's not far away before his current deal expires. But if we do fail to sign Ander Herrera a current new deal, we have the option of signing him a 1 year extension on his contract by a further 12 months. So this could fend away the interest from Barcelona, because we know they're interested in Ander Herrera during the window, but we know Ander Herrera won the club's player of the year last season. He was absolutely phenomenal for Manchester United last season, but we know he hasn't really made a big impact this season as Ander Herrera, because he's a player that can play the number 6 if he wants, he can play the number 8 if he wants, he can play the number 10 if he wants, but he has not featured much this season. But due to the absences of Pogba and Fellaini, obviously Herrera has featured in the last 2 or 3 matches in the process. But we know some of his performances this season when he has played haven't looked up to scratch, especially when he's been in the midfield three. Herrera hasn't looked very, very good at all. But, due to that Fellaini and, Pogba and that are out, he is now an important player for Jose Mourinho. As I said, with the arrival of Matic, it did say Herrera could fall down the pecking order, not get enough game time under his belt. He hasn't had a lot of game time, when Pogba and Fellaini had been fit, he didn't get a lot of game time, did Ander Herrera. But Ander Herrera for Manchester United, this is his 4th season in the process. He's nearly hit a century appearances now in the Premier League. He's made 90 appearances and scored 10 goals for the club. Ander Herrera, he's also an ex-Atletico Bilbao player. We paid £36 million for him. He was there about 3 years with Atletico Bilbao. Also was with Real Zorgbob. He was there about 10 years all in all, because he risen up the ranks. That's where he began his career. Also, he was a part of the youth team with Real Zagor, if I can pronounce him as well. So he's there about a decade, but I still think he's a very, very good player for Manchester United. Barcelona reportedly are still interested in the player, so they may go on and make a move for him. But Man United have the option to sign him a 1 year extension on his contract if he currently does fail to sign a new deal, because I think the contract talks have stalled. Man United have been in discussions with his representatives of trying to secure him a new deal, but hasn't materialised just as yet. We've also got Marian Fellaini coming to an end of his deal. Fellaini, we haven't signed him a new deal yet, and he's made a fantastic impact this season. He's looked more definitely effective in the midfield than Herrera. Juan Mata, who reportedly turned down a big money move to China as well. Mata's just a very, very consistent player as well. But yeah, that's latest news about Ander Herrera, but I still think he's skillful. I still think he's tenacious. I think he can play well on his day, can Herrera, but he hasn't been up to scratch this season because he hasn't played that much. So, and also Barcelona are interested in Andrea Silva. That's a possible Arsenal. That's another Arsenal tag as well. Andrea Silva, who is now at Milan. He's only been at Milan since June because Milan paid £38 million for him from Porto. He signed a 5-year deal. He's an ex-Porto player. Played in the reserve team. Made 84 appearances. Scored 24 goals. Played in the first team. Made 41 appearances, scored 17 goals. AC Milan are not in good form at the moment. He is yet to score in the Serie A, Andrea Silva. And he has scored 6 goals in the Europa League, but he's not scored yet for AC Milan in Serie A. But they will have to offload a couple of players due to debt. AC Milan and due to if they don't get Champions League football either in the process. But I was saying about Ander Herrera, he's still on Barcelona's agenda. He has won tournaments with Spain as well as Ander Herrera, at the under-20, at the under-21 level. He's won tournaments with Spain. He made his international debut in November 2016 as well, did Ander Herrera, but apparently Barcelona may make a move for him in January. But yeah, also Andre Silva's on Barcelona's agenda as well. And as updated you, they were scouting Harry Kane, they were scouting Christian Eriksen, they had the interest in Virgil van Dijk, but apparently now they've dropped their interest because that was Liverpool's, main priority target during the August window. Liverpool couldn't get a deal over the line, due to an illegal approach that Southampton clarified. He's got 6 years on his deal, I think, because he signed a 6-year deal back in May 2016, Van Dijk. Just recovered from long-term injury as well as Virgil van Dijk. But Southampton could have cashed in maybe £60-70 million for him in August, but they were not willing to do any business with Liverpool. And it did report the other day that Barcelona had been scouting him, Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool, that may be their key target because they still need to, strengthen their defensive area up to Liverpool, and they're aware of that. Virgil van Dijk, this is his third season of process. He's an ex-Celtic player where he won the Scottish Premiership with them, the Scottish League Cup with Celtic as well, did Virgil van Dijk. So Liverpool may go for him in January as well. They may go for him in January. What else was I saying? But apparently Barcelona have been scouting him the other week, but apparently dropped their interest. And we know, rather than Herrera being on Barcelona's agenda, that, Philippe Coutinho, Barcelona are still convinced that they can get a deal over the line for Philippe Coutinho in January, because obviously that was Barcelona's main priority target as well. Barcelona have got, quite a few players on their radar. They've got So yeah, they may go for Coutinho in January. I don't know how much it's going to be, but you could tell, like Philippe Coutinho did want to make the move in the August window, but Liverpool were not willing to do any business with Barcelona. Liverpool owners were not willing to accept any bid. Jurgen Klopp were not willing to accept any bids from Barcelona as well. And Liverpool had turned 3 bids down from Barcelona. I think they should have cashed in, because Liverpool, would have benefited from this, and he's become one of the most creative, agile players as Philippe Coutinho. He's become one of the most creative, agile players as Philippe Coutinho since he's been at Liverpool, ex Inter Milan, ex-Espanyol player. Said he's still got 5 years left on his deal with Liverpool Football Club. He's made over a century appearances, he's scored loads of goals. Also to say as well, what else was I going to say now? But yeah, I think Barcelona may go for him in January, because, he does want to elevate to a higher level. He wants to play amongst better players, go to a bigger club. And he's not going to win any silverware under Liverpool Football Club. He's Philippe Coutinho. And, he missed the first 4 or 5 games of the season at the beginning due to his back injury that he had, Philippe Coutinho as well. But that's another Barcelona target in the process as well. So they have got quite a few players on their radar of Barcelona. It's also reported the other day that there wasn't only scouting Martial. There wasn't only scouting Eriksen and Kane. There was also scouting Antonio Martial from Man United. Antonio Martial, as I said, Mourinho's not going to be prepared to do any business. He's a young age talent, growing and developing to his game, just like Rashford has done. And I said, when Martial, and that's at his best, he's one of the best young age prospects out there. If I'm going to be honest, without a shadow of a doubt, Martial began his career with Lyon, went to Monaco a couple of seasons. And I think it's then come to United. I think it's the highest paid fee that were paid for a teenager, which was £36 million. I think there's a potential increase to £56-57 million. Well, that's what it adds up to. I think there's a potential increase from 36 million to 56 or 57 million pound. But fantastic young age prospect, Antonio Martial. It's also reported that Arsenal have also been interested in him. Made his international debut for France in 2015. Scored in his debut for Man United, which was very, very good to see as well. Won Golden Boy Award, won Premier League Player of the Month. Just a very, very good player, but apparently Barcelona had been scouting Antonio Martial. As I said, even though we've got Rashford and Martial that can play on the left, I still feel as though Man United definitely need a winger. Presumably still need a left back as well. So yeah, see what happens. We've got an update on the Zlatan Ibrahimovic situation. We've got an update on the Paul Pogba situation that I'm going to update you now. He said about Zlatan Ibrahimovic as Jose Mourinho that that he is expected to return by December is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Just before the new year starts, I think Zlatan Ibrahimovic could be back in action according to Jose Mourinho, because we know he's been out for a while, with that serious injury that he suffered against Anderlecht in the Europa League last season. And then we thought at that moment in time, initially, it did say Zlatan Ibrahimovic was supposed to be out at least till the end of the year. That's what it said, but we knew when he got injured in that Anderlecht game, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, we thought it was a career. We thought that his career then could have been over with Manchester United. We expected him to be out longer than we actually thought. But he has been progressing fantastically well, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, 28 goals last season, and it'd be good to see him get back in the mix with Man United. And he's also given us an update with Paul Pogba. Mourinho's not sure how long Paul Pogba, he hasn't estimated how long he could be out for. It is an hamstring injury. I think he's been out for over a month now, as Paul Pogba, and that's very, very disappointing because, he's our most creative, essential midfielder. He's our most creative essential midfielder, is Paul Pogba, and it's disappointing to see, the way that, he makes an impact in that midfield. How our midfield, how it is affected in a bad way, when Pogba and Fellaini on it. It does look static a bit, if I am going to be quite honest with you, just a midfield of Herrera and Matic. But we know Matic dominates that midfield anywhere, he dominates it. He's good at gaining possession. Matic's passing ability is very, very good. I think his attacking instincts, Matic, is good as well. I want him to see him. He hasn't scored yet for Man United, Matic, but I don't think it's going to be long before he scores, because he has had quite a few decent opportunities to score, Matic, but I think he will do this eventually. But we've still got Rojo out. He could be expected to return in the next few weeks. He's been out for a long time as well, because he was a long-term injury like Zlatan's and like Zlatan Ibrahimovic's. But I said, as best left back's been Ashley Young, when he's been playing at the left back. I've had different players, playing at that left back this season. But for me, Barcelona have got quite a few players, they've been scouting, it did confirm they've been scouting Christian Eriksen from Tottenham, Harry Kane from Tottenham. But yeah, Christian Eriksen is a player from Tottenham, as I said. This is his fifth season of process. Spurs have paid £11.5 million for him from Ajax. He won titles of Ajax. He won Danish Football of the Year quite a few times. Made his international debut in 2010. Won Tottenham, Player of the Year award as well. Christian Eriksen. He is an attacking midfielder. Apparently Barcelona have been scouting him as well. And so too Harry Kane. Reportedly Barcelona have been scouting him. But Real Madrid, we all know that Real Madrid are interested in Harry Kane as well. And if Tottenham were prepared to do any business, were willing to offload the player, it wouldn't come cheap. For the cash-only deal, it'd probably cost Real Madrid maybe £200 million something. But Real Madrid may, with the Bale situation, Real Madrid could turn around and say to Tottenham, if Kane, were to make the move, they'd say, we'll give you Bale. Real Madrid may say, we'll give you Bale in exchange for Harry Kane, because your cash-only deal, would be a lot of money. But yeah, Harry Kane has won the Golden Boot the last couple of years. Said best striker in the Premier League for me, and I'd love him at Man United. He'd complement Romelu Lukaku fantastically well. But I just don't see that happening. He's worth more than Neymar now. He probably cost around about £200 million. Kane has not ruled the Spurs exit out. Let's be honest. He's hit over century goals now in all competitions. Not far from it is hitting a century goals now in the Premier League. He's Harry Kane, and just the best striker in the Premier League without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. 30 appearances last season, 29 goals for Kane. And, for 3 years, Tottenham have been consistent. Kane's been absolutely fantastic. Dele Alli for 2 seasons for Tottenham's also been very, very good. One of the best young age midfielders out there, risen up the ranks from MK Dons, did Dele Alli. But yeah, Kane, as I was saying, he made his senior debut in 2011 against Hearts in the Europa League. And his progression has just been absolutely phenomenal. I think he's got 12 goals in all competitions this season. Very good for England as well. But yeah, other Harry Kane, if he was to go to Madrid or whatever, I think Real Madrid may turn around and say, do you want Bale in exchange? Because, the reports that come out about Gareth Bale the other day actually suggesting that Real Madrid are willing to offload the player. He's the second top scorer for Wales. He's earned over 60 caps, and he's won Welsh Football of the Year record 6 times. But apparently Dan Ball and the Spanish publications actually suggested out that they're actually keen on sanctioning him off due to his injuries during his time with Real Madrid. Real Madrid are beginning to lose patience, but Dan Bolland actually reported he's got a calf injury now. But Dan Bolland actually reported he may prefer the move back to Tottenham, the team he used to be at where he played for 6 years. It's reported said Man United, Chelsea have been, well, we are still interested in the player. Man United were linked to him during the window, but we just never got a deal over the line for him. But we know he's injury prone, he's Gareth Bale. That would give me concerns if he did come to Manchester United. It would be good to see him come back and experience the Premier League, Gareth Bale. So he could well leave, but he did say Real Madrid are looking to regain the funds basically that they initially paid for him from Tottenham in 2013, which was about £85 million. And we know Real Madrid are a big spending club, as we've seen in the past. They had a big, massive club. They haven't spent big, surprisingly, in the August window. They didn't spend big. Paris Saint-Germain made the headlines in the August window, but with the deals with Neymar and they're structuring the deal for Mbappe as well. But for me, yeah, I think Gareth Bale, he reasoned up that fantastic well with Southampton, operated as left back, and when he went to Tottenham, became more of an attacking player, did Gareth Bale, but physical attributes very, very good, highly experienced, good at putting balls into the box, distinctive in his play when he does play, and he isn't getting the reception that he wants at Real Madrid, and he was at Tottenham 6 years, made 146 appearances, scored 42 goals. And at Real Madrid, he's won 10 honours. He's won 3 Champions Leagues in 4 seasons. So in that situation, you'd think, why would Bale want to leave? The amount of honours he's winning. But in another situation, Bale may want to, but Real Madrid may want to offload Bale due to his injuries that he's suffering, due to the reception that he's receiving sometimes as well from Real Madrid. And there's players that can fully spot as well, so he can't be guaranteed for his team football week in, week out. So that's what you got to take into consideration, guys. And Tottenham may get him. Can Tottenham afford him? But yeah, as I said, we've seen players go back to all clubs. We've seen it with Rooney after years at Man United going back to his boyhood club Everton. We've seen it with Henry when he was playing from Barcelona back to Arsenal. Seen it with Diego Costa as well, but he's not allowed to play for Atletico Madrid until January. So it can happen, guys. In the process, but the main part of this video is about Herrera, Man United. Whether I think the contract talks are stalls. We have failed to actually agree him a new deal, but we do have the option if we don't get him a new deal. We have the option to put a 1-year extension on his contract under Herrera's, because his current deal is coming to an end is under Herrera's. But it's partly saying Barcelona may make a move for him in January. As I said, Herrera won the Club's Player of the Year last season, and they're very, very good. Hasn't been much of a mix this season. He has been in the mix in the last couple of games due to the injuries of Fellaini and Pogba. But yeah, for Spain, for Spain, he's won tournaments for Spain, for the under-20, under-21 levels as Herrera. Made his international debut in November 2016. Was at Real Salzburg about 10 years, all in all, because he was obviously in his youth career there as well. Went to Atletico Bilbao for about 3 years, and we paid £36 million for him. In 2014, for this is his 4th season in the process. Herrera, he's made 90 appearances, scored 10 goals in the Premier League and Herrera for Manchester United. And he's still an important player for us, even though when Fellaini regains full fitness, when Pogba regains full fitness, he's gonna get lack of game time is under Herrera. But even if he does, for me, he's still a key player at Manchester United. Is under Herrera, and that's what you've got to take into consideration, guys. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel, subscribe to my channel as always, and take it easy, and I'll see you all guys later. Take care.